Sewing this skirt was definitely an adventure, but hey, we got there in the end. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I make videos about sewing, knitting, and learning to love my handmade wardrobe. Today, I'm going to be doing a review of Simplicity 2451, which is the first completed garment that I made for myself in 2026. Before we get to that, I am just going to share with you very quickly a couple of refashions that I have completed. The first one is this Jolie Lab Hazel blouse. So I had made this, I think, in 2024, and it originally had a ruffle around the neckline. And this is made out of a cotton fabric that's a little bit on the heavier side. I mean, it's not stiff or anything, but it's not very flowy. And so the ruffle always stuck out. And whenever I wore it, I felt like a clown. So I just removed the ruffle. This is finished with bias tape. I took off the bias tape and got rid of the ruffle and then stitched it back down again. And then the other thing that I did with this one is that the little keyhole in the front was too low for my comfort. It definitely showed my bra. So I went ahead and sewed that up another 1¼ inches. And now without the ruffle, I think it's much more suited to my style. And I've already worn this and I'm much happier with it. So I'm really glad I made that change. And then my second refashion was this scarf collar shirt from the assembly line. I just made this last fall and I hadn't been wearing it too much. And I realized it was because I just had a lot of regrets and I wish that I had made the scarf portion separate from the shirt portion because I just thought that that would make it way more versatile. So I went ahead and detached the scarf and finished the neckline of it off with bias tape in a matching fabric, just like this. And then I also just stitched up the collar without the scarf, obviously. So now I can wear this as a shirt on its own, or I can wear the scarf like around the front with the triangle in the front, which I really like to do that a lot, or I can drape it over my shoulders like the original. I just think it's going to be a lot more versatile this way. And I haven't worn this yet, but I'm looking forward to trying it out and styling it in different ways. So I'm really glad I made that change as well. So now we're ready to talk about the main event. As I said, this is Simplicity 2451. This is an out of print pattern. I think it was published in like 2015, if I remember correctly. I've actually made this skirt before a couple of times, but it was way back in the day and I could not find a picture of my original skirt. The original one was made out of a wool suiting and I also fully lined it. I really liked that skirt, but I don't have it anymore because I outgrew it. But I always remembered how much I liked the design. So I decided to go back to this pattern and make it again. I did have to repurchase the pattern because at some point I lost my original, and so I had to rebuy it on like eBay or Destash or something like that. So this time around, I did go ahead and trace the pattern, even though I absolutely hate tracing, because we all know that the Simplicity group may not be around forever, and I decided that I should just suck it up and be better about tracing my patterns so I could preserve them in case the company dissolves and I'm not able to get the patterns anymore. So the sizing on this was a little bit of a nightmare. So originally what I had done in the very beginning of January is I took my measurements and then I also measured the pattern. And according to those measurements, I ended up tracing a size 12 at the waist and then I graded to a size 10 at the hip, and that should have fit. So after tracing the pattern, I went ahead and cut out my muslin from a leftover piece of corduroy, which if you watched my previous video, you will have seen this before. This is just a leftover piece of non-stretch corduroy that I had made my husband a pair of pants, and I ended up having to cut a little square out of it in order to repair his pants that he had ripped. But because this was a muslin, obviously it didn't matter. Originally, I did hand baste the zipper end to check the fit, but I ended up reusing the zipper in the final skirt, so that's why it's not here. So I had made the size 12 at the waist, grading to a 10 at the hip, and when I tried it on, it was actually 2 inches too big in the waist. And I was very confused by this, and I couldn't understand how I could have gotten it so wrong because, like I said, I took my measurements and then I also measured the pattern, so it should have fit. But I think it was a twofold problem. So first of all, I have lost a little bit of weight, so I do think I did get a little bit smaller, and that accounts for some of it. And then the other part, I think, is that my waistline does fluctuate quite a bit over the course of a day. It's like probably around an inch or maybe even more than an inch. So possibly when I took my measurements, I was a little bit bigger. And then that compounded with the fact that I did lose some weight is why it was so big. But anyway, I was very confused by that, but I'm like, okay, so it's 2 inches too big. So rather than going back and retracing the pattern, I just took 2 inches out of the waistband and then also the top of the skirt so that it would match. And then because the muslin was too large rather than too small, rather than recutting a new muslin, I just simply took this apart and then recut to the new measurements and sewed it back together. So this is technically my second muslin, or I guess it's both my first and my second muslin. And the second time around when I tried it on, it did fit. The only further change that I decided to make after making this muslin was I went ahead and I shortened the skirt by 1/2 inch because I wanted it to be just a little bit shorter. And then I moved on to the actual project. So this fabric is a stretch corduroy that I got from Finch Fabrics. It was in like a corduroy mystery bundle. And I think I had about 1 1/8 yards, so that was plenty for this skirt. I did go ahead and line the skirt. So the inside lining is from my stash, and I thought it was a polyester lining that I got from Fabric Mart, but after I washed it and wore it, I think this might actually be Bimberg rayon. I'm not 100% sure, but I did fully line the skirt, and the pattern doesn't call for lining. Now, because I knew that I was lining the skirt, I didn't follow the instructions at all. I just did it according to what made sense to me. I do believe the original pattern calls for a lapped zipper, and I did a centered zipper instead. The only reason I did that was because I figured it would be easier to attach the lining to a centered zip than a lapped zip. I did go ahead and hand stitch the lining to the zipper on the inside, and I also hand stitched the hem to the outside so that it's a blind hem. This skirt does have little slash pockets here. For the most part, it was a pretty easy construction, but I did run into a hiccup. So the eagle-eyed among you might have noticed that this skirt looks a little bit different than it did the first time I showed it in my first video of the year. I had originally put some little fake pearl shank buttons on here, but I decided after washing it and trying it on that those buttons were just a little bit too distracting and I didn't like it. So I took them off and just put on some more simple like shell type buttons. And I like the look of that a lot better. But the main issue is that after I washed the skirt and I tried it on, I noticed that I had made a really weird mistake. And so somehow I got confused about where the center front was. And so these pleats here that are supposed to be in the center of the skirt were actually a little bit off to the side. And so it looked really unbalanced and strange on my body, like it wasn't lined up. And I kept wanting to like move the skirt to make it so that the pleats were centered, but then these buttons here were not centered. And I was just like, how on earth did I make that mistake? Like, I don't know where I went wrong, but I knew that I was not going to be able to live with it, that it was always going to bother me and I wouldn't wear the skirt. So I went in and I unpicked this seam in the front here, the waistband from the body of the skirt, and I re-centered it. That was not a super easy thing to do because I had already trimmed and graded my seams and clipped the curves. And so I had to be really careful not to leave holes where I had done all of the clipping. I had to sew it a couple of times. But in the end, I was able to get the pleats recentered so that it's actually balanced the way that it should be. So it was just a good lesson to, well, first of all, do it right the first time. But if you do it wrong, to go ahead and take the time and go back and fix it, because I know that I would not wear this if it was off balance. Like it would always bug me. So I'm glad I went ahead and took the extra time and did the fix, even though it was kind of a weird thing that happened and I wish that I hadn't done it. Now, in terms of changes that I would make next time, I think that the fit is really good. I'm happy with the length. The only thing that I don't like about it, and I had forgotten this about my original version, is that the pockets are really shallow. So I can barely even get my hands in them, and they're kind of pointless because they're so small. I really wish that the pocket bags were bigger. And if I were to go back and make this again, I would definitely make the pockets larger. Other than that, I'm really happy with the finished results. I like the color. The charcoal gray goes really well with my wardrobe. I actually think it would look really nice with what I am wearing, which, by the way, before I forget, I'll share with you what I'm wearing. This is the True Bias Nico top in a wine color. It's one of my favorite long sleeve tops. I have on this hand knitted vest that I made without a pattern, just out of a simple sport weight wool. Then I have on these corduroy pants that I got from Target and my Puma sneakers. If you're enjoying this video so far and feel like you're getting some value out of it, I would appreciate it so much if you would give me a thumbs up. And now before I leave you, I thought I would just give you a little bit more information about styling. So in the photo, I wore it with a sweater. Now, normally I would wear this skirt to work with tall boots, but all of my boots are actually at my office, so I don't have them to try on at home. But just know that typically I would wear tights and tall boots with the skirt. I do think it has a lot of versatility because I could wear it with a sweater. Like I said, I could wear it with this outfit. I could wear it with like a little cropped jacket over top. There's just a lot of different ways that I could wear this. To share with you my motivation about why I wanted to make this particular skirt. So I don't tend to wear mini skirts a lot in the spring and summer, but I do wear them in the winter with tights and boots. I just like that outfit formula. I think that it's very reliable. And because my size has been in flux, a lot of my shorter skirts just didn't fit me anymore in the hips. They were too tight. So I've decluttered quite a few of them. And I didn't really have a winter appropriate skirt anymore. So I wanted to add one back in corduroy, just because I thought that it would go with a lot of my wardrobe and be winter appropriate. Now, because I have a very strict one in, one out policy for 2026, I thought I'd share quickly the skirt that I decided to get rid of in order to make room for this one. So I had made a Rhapsody dress out of a white cotton eyelet from Joanne, and then I didn't really like the dress. So I took the bodice apart from the skirt, and then I kept the skirt and had a little white eyelet mini skirt. I do think that skirt is really cute, but I decided to let it go because I have multiple white skirts in my closet. I have a white denim mini skirt, and then I have a longer white skirt. And I just didn't need 3 white skirts. It just felt like overkill, like there were too many duplicates. So I decided to go ahead and say goodbye to the eyelet skirt since that one was my least favorite. And then that way I have room for this one. And I think that my wardrobe is a little bit more balanced because this is more of a fall winter item. And then all of those other ones were more spring and summer. So that's the piece I decided to let go of to make room for this new skirt. So one last question, would I sew this pattern again? I would, but probably not anytime soon. Right now, I feel like I only need one winter mini skirt in my closet. So I don't think this year I'm going to go back and make multiples, even of different patterns. I'm just going to live with this one. I do like the other views of the skirt, and I have made them before, the more flowy A-line version. So I would consider making that one in the future, but just not anytime in 2026, I don't think. So this was a good lesson to me that even though I've been sewing for over 20 years now, I can still make really stupid mistakes, but also I have learned from the past, and so I'm able to go back and fix my mistakes. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done something similarly boneheaded, and if you took the time to go back and fix it, or if you tried to just live with it as is. Were you happy with the results? Did you wear the finished garment? I would love to hear about your experiences down in the comments. So that is my review of Simplicity 2451. Next time, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my thoughts and lessons that I've learned since I've done my declutter of my wardrobe and also my fabric stash. There are quite a few things I've learned about my personal style and also my sewing practice that I thought might be insightful. So if you're interested in hearing about that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week.